Hi, everybody. Uh, Today, let me see if everything's working. Yeah. Today, I stumbled across some U.S. codes. You know, like law codes. I don't know what they're called. I'm not a lawyer, but I do notice I don't like when people say lawyer, and then I catch myself also saying lawyer. It's a weird pet peeve of mine that I also do. But we're going to get into a couple things today. Most of it is defining sedition and treason, and then juxtaposing that on the current state of the United States, current state of the country. Another pet peeve of mine is accidentally saying the same word with two different meanings twice in the same sentence. I have a lot of things that bother me. But anywho, let's start the jazz. So, first, we'll just start out with a simple zoom. Oh, you guys want to see something cool, by the way?
Nope.
Oh, what was that? What was that?
Oh, baby, a triple! Oh, yeah!
Somebody got a soundboard working today. Moving on up in the world. And we're also moving on up on Twitter. As the, I guess it's not a dox, it's just publicity. So, I mean, I'm good with it. We got a new fan. He's on Twitter. I'm going to be going over why he's a homophobe. And we might all come to some shocking revelations today. Who knows? But anyway, let's get this show on the road, as they say. 18 U.S. Code subsection 2381, treason. Whoever owing allegiance to the United States levies war against them or adheres to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort within the United States or elsewhere, is guilty of treason and shall suffer death. Or, I like how they're like, or, if it's not that bad of a treason, shall be imprisoned not less than 5 years and fined under this title, but not less than 10,000. So, treason could get you killed, or it could get you a fine and no less than 5 years in prison. I would take the fine and prison. However, I would also say that it might be a good idea. If some people got the treason death penalty, you see some examples of people who, you know, might deserve it. Maybe. And I've just noticed how inexplicably laws are applied to certain people and not to other people. And it was eye-opening reading this stuff that I found today thanks to Boss Hoss on Telegram. So shout out to Boss Hoss. Led me down this little jaunt down the rabbit hole. If you don't know what jaunt means, add it to your vocabulary and look it up. It's good to have in your pocket. Another telling thing about later on the show is we expose a homophobic bigot. That's also a new fan. Next we go over to, I'm going to zoom in here for you guys, and I'm going to do it really poorly. Next we go over to 18 U.S. Code subsection 2382, misprision of treason. Now, I have no idea what misprision means. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. But the definition will probably come to us as we read what the code says. Whoever owing allegiance to the United States and having knowledge of the commission of any treason against them conceals and does not, as soon as may be, disclose and make known the same to the President or to some judge of the United States. This is from a law website. I think it's like Cornell University or something. So you know that they probably got it right. But it's funny they go, or to some judge of the United States, the President, or to some judge, or to the governor, or to some judge or justice of a particular state. So they go, President, some judge, governor, some judge of that governor's state. You know, like they make it sound real, like, you know, you got to go to the top or to a judge. So does this mean that when let's say a group of individuals. Now, fuck it. We'll call it an organization today because we all know that's what it is. Let's say an organization, I don't know, takes over a couple city blocks in a major American city. Could they have been tried for treason? Because it sounds like... sounds a little treasonous to take over a city block armed and then saying, this isn't America anymore. This is our shit. And it turns out all you had to do was go to some judge and be like, hey, judge, I got to report this misprision of treason. And the judge would be like, well, now if I don't do anything about it, that's treason on my part. Maybe people have just been going about it the wrong way this whole time. You just got to tell some judge about it. But you know the judges read the news, right?
Nope.
What? They don't?
Nope.
Shocking. Let's finish this one up. Is guilty of misprision of treason and shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 7 years or both. I've always found the the not more thing interesting. You think not less makes sense. So that one I guess is not as bad because it's just misprision. Misprision. So you don't get as heavy of a fine, you know. Oh, I got more of these things. You got more of those? Do you, Bill?
It's time to stop.
Oh, no, I'm not stopping just yet. I got other things to handle. So we're going to move on to the third one. I got 4 of these. There's also more. I just didn't want to get stuck doing all of them. So let's go over to this one now. If I can zoom it just a smidge. And we'll scroll. Okay. So this one is... I can't scroll it up and down. This one says U.S. 18 Code subsection 2385, advocating overthrow of government. You mean to tell me this is a law? This is written down somewhere in United States Code of Treason and Sedition. Now let's read this. And I want you to keep in mind what we like to do here is tell you what some people are allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do, that those same people can do. We call them cheat codes around here, folks. Cheat codes. Whoever knowingly or willingly advocates, I'm going to stop there. Advocates. Before we go any further, have you seen anybody advocating for the destruction of the United States? You ever seen that? I feel like I have somewhere, sometime. Anywho, bets, which would mean like providing weapons to, funding to, gives media attention to, things of this nature, advises or teaches, almost like there's a way to stop professors from teaching sedition and treason. Necessity, desirability, or property of overthrowing or destroying the government. Let me move this little hand thingy. Or overthrowing or destroying the government of the United States or the government of any state, Washington, territory, district, or possession thereof, or the government of any political subdivision therein by force or violence, or by the assassination of any officer of any such government. Now, we haven't seen that yet other than that baseball game. Now, those are all Republicans at the baseball game. That's why you didn't hear a lot about it. Now, I'm no fan of a fucking Republican. Y'all know me, and you're going to get to know me even better. But it seems like we've seen this somewhere. Let me scroll out a little bit. Did I get all that? Yeah. Yeah. Also, whoever organizes or helps attempt to organize any society, group, or assembly of persons who teach, advocate, or encourage the overthrow or destruction of any such government by force or violence, or becomes or becomes or is a member of or affiliates with any such society, group, or assembly of persons knowing the purpose thereof. So now, ladies and gentlemen, you're beginning to see why it is very important to call certain organizations which shan't be named not organizations. This is why they call them ideas. This is why they call them groups of individuals. They say, there's no structure to this. There's no... Now, keep in mind what we covered. Even 230 protections being gotten rid of would make, say, Twitter and Facebook absolutely culpable for allowing the dissemination of these ideas on their platform. They're protected. Now, that's Trump's fault. And that's why Trump was an asshole for not doing anything about these people. But now you see right here in black and white that these people are absolutely guilty of treason. Now, this goes on to talk about the punishment for that and everything. But as you can see, it's pretty harsh. I'd assume that one... I just got the screen grab of it, but I'd assume if we scroll down, it would end in death. It would end in death. And anybody that was part of it, pushing it, as you just read, encouraging it, funding it, organizing it, advocating it, guilty. So I should probably stop doing that. All right.
It's time to stop.
We're going to get better with the soundboard. I just got it working today. Get this. I go to plug it in the other day. We've tried, I don't know, 5 different cables for this thing, and none of them work. Well, I went to try one again yesterday. I don't know where the little piece is. Here it is. Look at this. You probably won't get a good view of it, but see this little microchip thing? That's actually what the headphones plug into. But I ripped it out of the tablet. Chinese shit. Ripped it out of the tablet. So then I bought Bluetooth to get it working. And we did that today. And it works. Beautiful. We got one more slide. I'm making this a short show. As short as possible. 18 U.S. Code subsection 2384, seditious conspiracy. Now, there's a lot of these. There's more than just the 4 I'm showing. If you would like to read them all, just Google any of these codes. So, like, just Google U.S. Code 238, any of them, and it'll pull you up a list from a university that has these all written out for you as they're written out in the law. So certain people watching, be very careful. Be very careful, because as we now know, you're already guilty of something punishable by death. If 2 or more persons, 2 or more people is what you need for a conspiracy, which seems like a low bar, you know what I mean? You have a conversation with one dude, and you're like, that's 2 people, that's conspiracy to whatever, you know? So be careful, because they use conspiracy for... when they don't have enough evidence against organized crime and stuff. Now, speaking of organized crime, I've noticed a lot of crime that seems to be organized, but it's not committed by an organization. So there's no RICO, there's no seditious conspiracy laws or anything being used against them. Now, this is only because of the thin illusion veil of saying, oh, they're not organized. They're just an idea. If two or more persons in any state or territory, or in any place subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, conspire to overthrow, put down, or destroy by force the government of the United States, or to levy war against them, I believe the guy in Chaz, before they changed it to Chop for legal reasons. Did you know that? You know why it was called Chaz in the beginning? Because autonomous zone is implying that they have seized a piece of land, United States land, which we've just read is fucking treason, and claimed it for their own. Autonomous from the United States government, which makes them all participants in treason and subject to death. Now, nobody's ever said anything about this. It's almost like you can look at shit in black and white right in front of you like you are now, but then the media and the government and the law enforcement agencies of the government, which I'm not a fan of any of the things that I just mentioned, just choose to ignore what's written in the law. Because it's almost like there's a conspiracy. Huh, weird. To destroy by force the government of the United States, or to levy war against them, or to oppose by force the authority thereof. Or by force to prevent, hinder, or delay the execution of any law of the United States, or by force to seize, take, or possess any property of the United States contrary to the authority thereof, they shall each be fined under this title, or imprisoned not more than 30 years or both. How many people were fined for seditious conspiracy over the last 200 days? How many people? I can't think of one. I can't think of any of them that are in jail. Now, I'm sure there are some of them in jail, but you don't hear about them. You hear about the Kyles, you hear about them being in jail. And it seems like if you were to look at all the U.S. codes we just read on sedition and treason, this punishment is much worse than even the worst they could do to Kyle Rittenhouse, aside from a murder charge. But nothing happened to any of these people. Even the people actively trying to murder Kyle Rittenhouse have, to this day, faced no charges whatsoever, even though it was a felon in possession of a handgun. Like, the government is now picking and choosing. And this is another thing to you fucking assholes that go, oh, you're all the same pieces of shit that go down with the government, all while you're looking at clear evidence of the government totally protecting you. And that's what I've been saying for a long time now. You're protected. You're protected. And you're protected by the people you're actively trying to dismantle. And that's why I hope you dismantle them. Because then your protection evaporates. Gone. And then you're fucked. You might get a couple of people. But for the most part, if that illusion of authority ever disappears, which I mean illusion, people are going to come after you. I'm not saying I'm going to, and I'm not going to encourage anybody to do it. But you people out there, you've pissed a lot of people off. You've defamed a lot of people. There's a lot of people with short tempers whose lives you destroyed. And the only thing stopping them from hunting you down and fucking murdering you is the illusion of authority. So I hope you chip away at it until it's gone. And make no mistake, I hope that the police are defunded just like you do. Now we're getting a little heated, and I don't want to get heated. But I'm just saying, people don't look very far into the future when they're trying to get, trying to get a little recognition by destroying other people, all while doing nothing themselves. People remember. People don't forget these things. You think that they do. You think it's innocent. You think it's innocent as you try to literally have people murdered, which is what you're doing. You're trying to have people killed. You'll never do it. But you will lie to the point of encouraging some retard to do your dirty work for you. And everybody sees it. Everybody sees it. But the FBI gets the other side to do the dirty work for them. They create the boogeyman that you say exists, but it doesn't exist. Not until the people you're trying to destroy create them out of thin air in order to justify their organizations. I want you to think long and hard about that. Yeah, so, yeah, that's the 20-year one. 20-year one. Now, what I'm going to do is,
Hey, that's pretty good.
hey, thanks, buddy. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to me. Here we are. Now I'm going to check the comments. I think we got 3 viewers today. 3 viewers. I don't know when the comments started. I'd assume it's when all these people followed from the last show. Who would commit treason? Yeah, who would commit treason? Who would commit treason brazenly and out in the open without any fear of government authority reprisals? I know I wouldn't. I absolutely fear the boot of the modern day Gestapo. What else we got? We got a gun. Be careful with that. Hey, Jane. Jane says, mm-hmm. And Kevin says it's just me. That's okay. I do the show to put on replay, and I think I'm already running a little long. So we'll get on to the next stuff. If I can pull it up in a timely fashion. I've been having some back problems today, which makes me want to use...
Watch your profanity.
But I'm trying to not use...
Watch your profanity.
So this one's designed to make you think. A couple more quick stories, and then I'll be out of here. I'll be out of your hair. Danish health authorities and members of the Danish armed forces disposed of dead mink in a military area near Holstebro in Denmark, November 9th, 2020. Authorities embarked on a plan to cull Denmark's 17 million mink, one of the world's largest populations, saying a recently discovered strain found in mink farms and humans could evade future COVID-19 vaccines. Now, here's why that's important, because we've talked about this before. Do you recall me mentioning that they're trying to normalize the eating of insects because they're easier to harvest for protein than, let's say, cattle? I got a crick in my back. Jesus. I don't mean to complain, but... Ugh.
It's time to stop.
All right, I'll stop. So, I think this is meant to prepare people mentally for when they go, there's a chicken COVID now. We got to get rid of all those chickens. You know what doesn't have COVID? Grasshoppers. Or, I don't know, cows. What happens when cows get COVID-19? How many cows do you think are in the United States? It has to be tens of millions. All right? So be prepared. You heard it here first. Be prepared for them to start murdering animals. PETA, which you'll probably be okay with now that I think about it. Boy, that goes on a long time. We'll just keep it going. Anyway, so prepare for the mass slaughter of livestock, meat livestock. Think chickens, pigs, cows, things of that nature. Because I don't know how a mink relates to humans, but they say pigs are very similar to humans, especially ugly fat ones. Now, what you've all been waiting for, I'm going to shine a fun little spotlight on, let's see, it's going to be here. Fun little spotlight. We talked yesterday about getting doxxed, and I guess it wasn't the appropriate language. I said doxxed, and how, I didn't even get doxxed, like one of the cool guys. But the guy that did that, pseudo-doxing, I don't know what you would call it, he says he responded. And he watches the show, which I'm very excited about. However, what I'm not excited about is what he said and how it seems counterintuitive to the movement. And I'm a little disappointed in him because there's some things that we agree on, like the abolition of a certain country's government that I can't say, or I'd be guilty of treason. See how that works? But the guy, I don't know if I should show his name because all publicity is good publicity. And it's kind of funny how I looked at this tweet and nobody has said anything about it, which I feel kind of bad for the guy for. As I murder it on Parler. They go, why don't you go to Twitter? I go, why? I want to be in a right-wing echo chamber. I don't want to go on there and be like, hey, here's some facts. I'm just throwing it out there, and then have everybody be like, facts are bad and you suck. Anywho, so yeah, you know what? I'm gonna block his name out. So we'll go full screen here. I don't want to give him any. Let me put it like, I want to protect him. I don't want anybody to find out who this guy is and do anything. So I'm not going to show the name. I've now got to edit it out of the Twitter. Okay. So let's do this. I had a response from the guy who gave us a shout out on his Twitter account. I think negatively. I don't think he was doing it to be nice. Okay. And we're very polite around here. So we didn't take offense to it. Everybody that was on the list was flattered. I obviously wasn't flattered because I wasn't on the list. So he revised the list, or I should say he added to it, and he mentioned me specifically, which is super exciting, super exciting. However, he said something that I think is very intolerant and homophobic and kind of shows his true colors. And I also don't know how to read the first sentence, by the way. But let's try it. Vill chucked a sad that I left him out of my, quote, docs. Maybe I don't understand modern internet lingo. I'm an older gentleman. But Vill chucked a sad that I left him out of my docs. I don't know what that means, okay? But we all know what he's saying. He acknowledged that he saw the show. Thank you so much. And then he said, I can include you. All I can offer you is this GIF or GIF of what I assume is what happens when you combine No Nut November, and here it comes, repressed homosexuality. You shouldn't be very happy with yourself about that. I'm a flagrant homosexual, okay? And I think you just exposed your intolerance for homosexuals. And I don't care if you delete it or not. You probably should. You just made a fool of yourself, okay? He goes on to say, but it seems like you aren't cool enough to be included in this either. I'll have you know, I've been included in dozens of double Dutch rudder circle jerks. Okay? Dozens. Another thing I want you to notice. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. Nobody gave a shit. So it makes me flattered that you're watching and you literally couldn't alert anybody to it. But I got you in my audience. I don't even follow you on Twitter. How does that feel, you dumb son of a bitch? But here's the thing. Here's the thing, you fucking homophobe. You really made me angry with that, with your assumptions. All right? And I think that you're the homophobe. And I'm going to tell everybody I know that you hate fags. And here, I'll tell you how you can fix the situation. I challenge you to a suck-off, faggot. Yeah, shit just got real, didn't it? Yeah, I can say that too. Guess what? You can't. So, that's touching on our new fanboy. You're my fanboy. You're my fanboy. Let me show me a picture of your cock. But it's cute. I'm kidding. I bet this guy. I assume it's a guy because his name's Drew. However, there's Drew Barrymore. That's a woman. I'm gonna say since you watched this show And that's a big enough insult to your life already. Like, it doesn't really get worse than that for somebody like yourself. I assume you're overweight. And speaking of No Nut November, I think that you have to involuntarily do that. I get nuts everywhere. Nuts all the time. My nuts, some dude's nuts. Just nut. I don't do No Nut November. That's some straight shit, dude. That's some straight shit. So I'm gonna leave everybody now. I'm gonna go back to my awesome fucking life. Just banging. Just fucking banging dudes, bro. So when I download this and I post it on Telegram, which I hope you follow. I hope you follow our Telegram channel, Mr. Twitter guy. You probably already do. Isn't that fucking weird that nobody follows you, but you follow us? That's great. That's great. Maybe your shit will take off one day. Maybe I'll help you. Maybe I'll help you have it. Give it a little oomph. Maybe I'll give you a little advertising. Isn't that funny? Oh, I bet it just burns your ass. By the way, join us on Parler, where we have 4,500 followers. You loser. All right, I'm going to end it. I don't think I got anything else. Let me check my personal notes real quick and see if I got anything. I don't think I do. Waigu, doxing himself. See, they don't mind. That's the thing. Oh, hey, retard. You've never seen the haircut? See this polo? That's not a Fred Perry. I designed this. This is my custom shirt. You barked up the wrong tree, admit it. You barked up the wrong tree. The only way to get out of this, mutual suck-off competition. All right? Name the time, name the place. I'll be there. I suggest the rest area off Route 5, though. It tends to not be bothered by the police. Not that it's really much of a big deal anymore. Nobody minds. But let's go back to that GIF real quick. Check this out. Thanks for making our own custom GIF. I appreciate it. Look at these two straights leaving me out of the old Dutch rudder circle jerk. Okay. Alright. Still checking my notes. Nope. We got nothing. Y'all have a wonderful day. I think that the show already went on too long. I'm going to end it. I don't think there's a outro or anything. Yeah, but I should have that. There's also the new soundboard. I'm just going to click a random one.
That's pretty good.
Oh, disconnected from the Bluetooth. Well, that's some shit. All right.